Hello, my friend. Thank you for joining me once again. I am always glad to know you are here, taking a moment for yourself, a moment to slow down, to listen, and to reflect. Before we begin, I hope you are feeling calm, safe, and ready to explore this next question together. We have spoken before about the past and the future. We thought about what might surprise our younger self. We wondered what our future self would thank us for. But today, I want us to focus on the present, on the simple, ordinary moments that shape our everyday lives. The question is this: what is one ordinary moment in your day that you would miss the most if it disappeared tomorrow? At first, this may sound simple, maybe even too simple, but look closer. Ordinary moments are the ones we rarely notice, yet they are the threads that hold our days together. We may believe we would not miss them because they happen so often, but when they are gone, we realize they were treasures. Think about the moment when you first wake up in the morning, the sound of the alarm, the stretch of your arms, the feeling of light coming through the window. It may feel like nothing special, but if tomorrow that moment vanished, if you never again had the chance to wake slowly into a new day, would you not miss it deeply? Or think of your morning drink, tea, coffee, juice, or even just a glass of water. The warmth of the cup in your hands, the steam rising, the first sip. It is ordinary, yes, but it is also grounding. It is the small ritual that begins your day. If it disappeared, you would feel the emptiness it left behind. Perhaps your moment is during your commute, the time between home and work. The bus ride, the walk down the street, the quiet time in the car. You may think of it as boring or even frustrating, but perhaps, without realizing it, this time gives you space. Space to think, to listen to music, to look at people and wonder about their lives. If that disappeared tomorrow, would you not suddenly feel that something important had been taken away? Think, too, about the evening, the sound of dishes in the sink, the way you change your clothes at the end of the day, the way you sit for a moment, letting your body rest after hours of movement. It may seem routine, but it is in these ordinary pauses that life feels real. Without them, the rhythm of your day would be broken. Let me share with you a small story. There was once a woman who worked in an office. Every afternoon, around 3 o'clock, she would step outside with a cup of tea. She stood by the same tree, looked at the same sky, and then returned to work. It was not something she thought about. It was simply habit. Then one day, the company moved to a new building. The tree was gone. The window view was different, and suddenly she realized how much she missed that small, ordinary ritual. It had been her anchor, her breath of calm in the middle of busy days. What seemed meaningless became priceless when it disappeared. So I ask you again, what is the ordinary moment in your day that you would miss the most if it disappeared tomorrow? Maybe it is laughter at the dinner table. Maybe it is the way your child runs to greet you when you come home. Maybe it is sitting in silence with your partner, not speaking, just sharing the same space. Maybe it is the comfort of your cat curling on your lap, or the bark of a dog when you arrive. These things are ordinary, but they are also sacred. And sometimes the moment you would miss most is one you do not even notice until you stop to think. It could be the sound of birds in the morning, the sight of neighbors walking by, the smell of food cooking in your home, the feeling of lying down in your bed at night. These things are part of the background of life, but if they disappeared, the silence would be heavy. Why is it important to ask this question? Because it teaches us gratitude. It helps us see what we already have, instead of always chasing what we do not. It reminds us that the beauty of life is not only in big achievements, but in the quiet moments that give life rhythm and comfort. So take a breath with me now. Close your eyes if you like, and picture your day. From morning to evening, what is one moment you would miss the most if tomorrow it were gone forever? Hold that moment in your heart. Smile at it. Be grateful for it. Because even if it feels ordinary, it is a piece of your happiness. My friend, this is the beginning of our journey with this question. As we continue, we will explore more examples, more stories, and more reflections that help us see how precious our ordinary lives truly are. Think again about your daily rhythm, my friend. Life is filled with patterns, cycles, and repetitions. Many of them feel so ordinary that we hardly notice them, yet if we lost them, we would feel the gap as clearly as missing a heartbeat. This is the power of ordinary moments. They are invisible until they are gone. Imagine walking through your day step by step. Perhaps your morning begins not with silence, but with sound. The sound of a kettle boiling, the bubbling of water, the gentle hum of an appliance in the kitchen. These sounds are background noise to you now. You do not pause to appreciate them. But if tomorrow your mornings began in silence, you would realize how comforting those ordinary sounds truly were. Or think about the greetings we exchange. A nod from a neighbor, a hello from a colleague, a wave from someone across the street. They may not be long conversations. They may not even seem important. But if they vanished, would your day not feel colder, lonelier, emptier? Sometimes the ordinary moment is in the middle of the day, hidden between tasks. Maybe it is the 5 minutes you spend standing by a window, looking at the sky. You might not even realize you do it every day, but your body knows. Your mind expects that pause. If it disappeared, you would feel restless, as though something important was missing. And what about meals? Sitting down with food is something most of us do without much thought. We eat quickly, we rush, we barely taste the flavors. But think about what it would mean if tomorrow you could not do that. If you could not sit, hold a spoon, share a table, smell warm food. Suddenly, you would see how precious this ordinary ritual is. Let me share a story. There was once a teacher who worked in a busy city. Every morning, she stopped at the same cafe before going to school. She always ordered the same bread roll and the same tea. She never thought about it much. It was routine. One day, the cafe closed. It was a small change in the world, but for her, it was a deep loss. She realized how much comfort that simple, ordinary stop had brought to her mornings. It had been the gentle beginning of her day, and without it, something felt incomplete. Now, reflect on your own life. What is your bread roll and tea? What is the small ritual you would only notice if it were gone? Perhaps it is not about food or drink. Perhaps it is about learning. Maybe you have the habit of reading a page of a book at night, or listening to music in the morning, or practicing English for a few minutes during the day. These things may not feel extraordinary, but they are shaping you. And if you suddenly lost them, you would miss them deeply. Think also about technology. Many people do not consider checking their phone as meaningful. And yet, imagine if tomorrow you could not connect at all. No messages, no calls, no photos. Would you not miss the ordinary habit of seeing a kind word from someone far away? Even these things, which we take for granted, are threads in our days. And then there is nature, the sound of rain on the roof, the feeling of wind on your face, the sight of trees moving with the breeze. These experiences happen without our control, and yet they are part of us. If one day they stopped, would we not long for them? Would we not remember them with gratitude? I want you to pause here and picture one such moment in your own day. Maybe it is your pet coming to greet you. Maybe it is the way your home smells when you return. Maybe it is sitting on a favorite chair, one you do not even notice anymore, because it has always been there. These are not luxuries. They are not events we plan. They are the quiet background of our lives, and they matter. When we ask ourselves what ordinary moment we would miss if it disappeared tomorrow, we are really asking ourselves to practice gratitude. Gratitude for the overlooked. Gratitude for the unnoticed. Gratitude for the things that happen without effort, but which bring us comfort, stability, and joy. Let me share another story. There was once an older man who lived in a small town. Every afternoon, he walked down to the post office, even when he was not expecting any mail. He enjoyed greeting the people there, exchanging a few words, and walking back home. It was part of his rhythm. One day, the post office closed. For weeks, he felt unsettled. He realized that what he had truly valued was not the letters, but the walk, the greetings, the human connection. What seemed ordinary was, in fact, essential. Think again about your own rhythms. What ordinary walk, what simple greeting, what quiet ritual would you miss if tomorrow it vanished? The beauty of this question is that it shifts our focus. We live in a world that tells us to chase big achievements, dramatic experiences, constant progress. But real life is built on ordinary bricks. Remove one, and the structure weakens. Appreciate them, and the whole building shines stronger. So once again, I ask you to hold this question in your heart. Look at your day as if you were about to lose a piece of it. Which piece would you miss most? Which piece is already a treasure waiting for you to notice it? This is how gratitude grows, not in the extraordinary, but in the ordinary, not in what is loud, but in what is quiet. And when you recognize it, when you pause to honor it, you give your life more depth, more peace, and more joy. My friend, we have taken time together to think about one simple but powerful question. What is one ordinary moment in your day that you would miss the most if it disappeared tomorrow? We discovered that life's true beauty often hides in the routines we overlook. The first sip of coffee in the morning, the way sunlight falls across your table, a short walk, a quiet pause, a kind word from someone close. These moments are not grand, but they are what make life whole. The lesson is clear: ordinary is not empty, ordinary is sacred. And when we recognize this, we begin to live with gratitude. We see that happiness is not always in the future or the past. It is here, in the small details of today. So I encourage you to notice your ordinary moments. Hold them gently. Give thanks for them, because one day, if they were gone, you would realize how extraordinary they truly were. Thank you, my friend, for joining me in this reflection. Stay positive, stay curious, and continue walking this journey with us. There are more questions waiting for you. Questions that will help you learn English, discover yourself, and grow step by step. This is Yarven's Questions. If today's reflection touched you, explore the other topics on our channel and let your journey continue. Take your time, reflect, and I will see you soon.